Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be making a video about Naraka Blade Point, the Souljades tier list from S tier to D tier. Now I've gone through all the trouble of, making this whole tier list. I know it sounds pretty boring, but I was having fun, reading and learning about all of the different Souljades and what they do. I feel like it made me better at the game, but now if you want to share this with your friends, you can just go on to Tier Maker, look up the Naraka Blade Point Souljades tier list maker, or well, this is my maker, this is what it says for me because I made it. But you can just search up Naraka Blade Point Souljades. I'll leave a link in the description and you can find it there. So let's start it. If you think you can do better, you can try it. And if you think I'm wrong, just leave a comment. And if you think I missed something, leave a comment, because I'm pretty sure I missed at least 2 of the orbs, but I'm a ditz sometimes. And share it to your favorite streamers, because I'm sure they'd like to do this too, like mine. Okay, so let's first start off with, Cluster Shell is actually one of my favorite orbs to use, because if you use it with Meteor on the cannon, you can kill somebody in 2 shots. And 2 shots from the cannon, but it's 4 shots because a cluster makes it 2. So as a combo, it's pretty good, but Cluster Shell as itself, it's not bad, so I'll put it at B. I think Soothing Boon makes it where whenever you use Repair Powder or Vitalia, that it has a 50% chance of not depleting from your inventory, which is pretty useless. Now if you know that you're not having a lot of items and you're just gonna rat the whole game, I'd take it, but for me, I never use it, so here we go. Miser is great in early game to get you those Tide coins, but as you get later on, you don't want it in your inventory, so I'd say pick it up at the beginning of the game and then eventually you drop it for something like an attack or health, or even more of like any one of these better legendary weapon based Souljades. So let's go ahead and put that at B, because I think early game is pretty useful. Swift Heal. Now if you don't pick this up when you see it, you're useless. Yeah. But Swift Heal makes it where you heal faster. It's helpful in every game mode, solos and trios, and it's helpful when you're ratting. It's helpful if you're playing fast. You can get away, heal real quickly, unless you're stun locked, which then you just cry in the corner. You get away, heal real quickly, and then use Swift Heal. Nice. Craftsmanship. This makes it to where, I believe, if I'm wrong, correct me. Craftsmanship makes it to where you repair faster, and that's usually not useful for me. I never really get into a situation. I usually repair after a fight, or I'll have enough weapons where I don't have to repair in the middle of a fight for it to be faster. So I'll never really use it. I'm gonna put that at C. Advanced Heal. Now this makes it to where whenever you use a healing item, it lasts over 5 seconds and is supposed to increase the amount that you heal. Now to me, I'd rather have the instantaneous heal, but I know this does give you more healing, so it is quite useful. I'll put it at A because it does have a use, but for me, I'd rather have something like the Swift Heal because it's just better. Group Heal. Now I don't really play a lot of trios, but Group Heal makes it to where whenever you heal, I think it's decreased slightly your healing, but you heal the whole group. So I think that's pretty great in terms of trios, especially if you're the guy hanging back. You kind of give it to him, he's not really the fighter. He's going to be playing the healer role more. So we're going to put that at S because I think that's how it should be. Weaponry chest boon, useless. All the things that are boons, in my opinion, do not help you, because you should already have these things in abundance by the time you're taking a fight. Now, if you're taking a fight unprepared, then you're probably playing the game wrong and you need to learn a little bit more. But for advanced players, I don't think Weaponry Chest Boon will end up in their inventory, so I'm going to put that at D. And same with Spool Boon, I'm going to put that at D, because I think they have the same amount of usefulness. Because you're usually, if you're fighting, you're picking up more spools, more weaponry chests, so you don't really need it to not disappear from your inventory. They're pretty easy to find. You can go run around, break open some boxes, some barrels, and find some. Great Sword Sap. Now, all the saps, you'll never in a fight really notice the sap, in my opinion. All the abilities in Naraka that heal you, such as Yoto's Great Sword, whenever she pops up her ultimate and it heals you, usually you'll never really notice it, and usually when you're in a tight situation, you'd rather have something else. So I'm gonna put that at C because it does have a use, but it's not as great as something like, the Great Sword's ultimate legendary one, which is, I think, Earthshaker, if I'm not too sure. There you go. Razor Swift. Razor Swift is supposed to be a legendary. That's kind of a mess up on my part, but it is the spear legendary ability that makes it to where your Naza's Might Strike ends in like a very like high stun lock ability, and if you've ever been attacked by this, you know that you're pretty much gonna die if this is used upon you, so you might as well hang it up. So Razor Swift goes there. Eruditation, not nearly as good as the Eruditation is not nearly as good as the other spear abilities, but it's not bad. It's up there. Scale Rush Spear. Now, if you're doing wall attacks and using Scale Rush, this would be useful for you. But I never really see a situation where you're just gonna be in that like where you need this gem to take up that slot, because it's such a minute situation that you need it in. So I'll put it at C. But it does have a use that attacks pretty stun locky and could get you a free kill if you have this in your inventory. But I don't suggest having it. Spear Storm is the same as kind of Eruditation, kind of just alters the ability. Now we'll go look at Dual Ring real quick. Dual Ring is the same thing on the spear. It alters the third horizontal strike. Now, it's good, the attack's good, but you don't really want to alter your strikes whenever you're learning the game. Maybe if you're more advanced. So I'd put it at B, like the rest of the spear abilities, because the spear is already good. Abyssal Aura is the Dagger's charge vertical strike will change. It's pretty bad, pretty trash. You don't want it. Slow Shot slows down your musket shot but increases the damage. It's useful if you're hitting your shots. Like, it slows down the intervals, not down the actual velocity of the shot. If you're hitting your shots and you want to do just more damage and you're only firing once or twice in a fight, you can equip it. I think it sits at B for me. Flame Breath is a cannon ability, which makes it have fire effect, which I don't think is very useful, especially whenever all the other cannon's abilities are extremely useful for cannon and make it do a lot more damage. I'd put it at either C or D, and I'm gonna put it at D. Thunder Call. Thunder Call should be a legendary Souljade for the pistol, because it's probably the most useful thing for the pistol if you're using the pistol. But you shouldn't, it's not bad, but Thunder Call increases the damage and it makes it have a larger explosion range, so it means you'll hit more. So if you charge all of the shots, then you'll probably be able to hurt somebody extremely bad. I think it's an A, but the pistol itself is a C, so very hard to explain that one. Quick Charge is good for the pistol too, but you shouldn't really be using the pistol. Like I said, I don't use the pistol. Quick Charge makes it to where it charges faster. You get your fire shots out. It's more like a shotgun type thing. You know, you get that quick charge in a fight, and you're just like, do, and it would help. But I don't use the pistol, so very hard for me. Target Lock is a bow ability, and landing a shot on an enemy with the bow leaves them unable to sprint or dodge for 2 seconds. And you can't stack it, but whenever you're trying to get somebody stuck into the... I used this in a game, and I was fighting in the zone, and people were running from in the zone to... from out of the zone into the zone, and I was shooting them with this, and they died to the zone. So it's useful in certain situations, and in a fight, if you get a quick shot off, they can't dodge. So it's very useful like that, but it's very few situations. So I'll put it at B, but it's good. It's not bad. Just very few situations you can use it in. Scatter Shot, I think splits your arrows into 3, and there's less damage. If you're not really able to hit bow shots and it's hard for you, then you should use this, but it's also not very good, and to have it take up a space in your inventory is just very wasteful to me. Same with fire arrows. Is the same I feel about Flame Breath. The fire doesn't do enough damage to justify having it in your inventory, and you'll still have to hit your shots. Volley is a D tier, like hard D tier ability, because it's the burst on the repeating crossbow makes it shoot 4 instead of 3. Completely useless. Sharp Shot decreases, this is basically the advanced version of volley. Sharp Shot increases decreases the spread from the repeating crossbow and makes it like your burst shots. Very good. If you use the repeating crossbow to just get picks like I do, then I'd use it. Venom Tip does poison over time, does a lot of damage. It decreases the amount of damage that your shots do, but it does poison over time. So if you're in a fight and you get a couple shots off and you stack it, it could help you win. Rupture Gale Orb makes to where the cannon's explosions are larger. I don't like to use Rupture Gale Orb, especially compared to all the other cannon's abilities. It's better than, Flame's Breath in my opinion, because the cannon's really a quick shot off, and then you get some damage, and it's good to have a high, to lower the skill gap with it and to help you hit your shots. Twin shot is, like I said earlier, groups very well with a meteor, and you can two-shot people. I'll put it at B because even if you're not two-shotting people, 2 shots of the cannon is almost all armor. Bounce shell is D because you don't want your shells to bounce, you just want to hit people directly, and it kind of just throws off your trajectories, especially if you've played with the cannon already. Messes it up, it doesn't really help you. Sunwing shot increases the velocity of the musket shots, which helps you hit people from longer ranges, or even at any range really. It just helps you like hit them, because if you don't know, the musket kind of has a delay, kind of like an arrow. You kind of have to lead, which is really weird. Sunwing shot takes that away. If you use the musket a lot, I'd put that on there. Detonating rounds is for the pistol. It makes every shot you do like detonate later instead of doing instant damage, and it does a little bit more damage. I think it's not that good. I don't think it's better than, you know, your quick charge or the what's it called? I don't think it's better than quick charge or thunder call. So I'll put it at C because it's not bad. It's just not as good as the others for it. Armor pierce is very bad for the musket because if you're already doing health damage against people, it's going to decrease your damage. But if they have armor, it goes through their armor, which is pretty much useless in a fight because you're going to deplete armor kind of fast, and you don't want to sit back there. Maybe in trios it has a good use, so I'd put it at C. Meteor is a S tier to me because using the cannon you can kind of get that direct trajectory and hit people from far away and hard, especially whenever you combo it with the double shot for the cannon. Healing bolts I assume is good in trios. Like I said, I don't play a lot of trios, but I think taking your time out of your fight to shoot your teammates might hurt you a little bit more, but I don't think it's useless. So I'd put it kind of in the middle, maybe a C, maybe a B. It's kind of sitting in between this line right here for me. Burst arrow has the same exact energy as detonating rounds does, decreases your damage, but it detonates later and just ruins the kind of point of having that instantaneous damage. You don't like burst damage. Really, I mean, burst damage does help, but I'd prefer to have that instant damage and to get that instant headshot because I think it decreases the velocity of the arrow also. I've never used desperation because I've never found it, so it's pretty rare, but it increases your attack when you're below 50% health, which is, and I've seen how much damage it does a lot of damage, but to get below 50% health takes you a while and you might just die at that point. So I'll put it at C because it takes up a spot in your inventory, and you don't want to get below 50% health, especially in a fight. You're pretty much dead at that point. Skyforce, I think Skyforce restores you to full HP upon killing an enemy, which is extremely useful. If you find this, once again, I have not found this one. If you find this, I'd pick it up because if you're getting a kill and you're about to get third-partied, and in this game it's easy to get third-partied, then you want to have full health as soon as you get that kill, and maybe you can farm out a kill from another fight instead of healing. Focus slide, Focus slide knocks enemies airborne, and you can get someone in a nasty stun lock with it, especially because it does a little bit of damage. So you can just slide around them. I put it at A because it's really useful, but you also never really get to use it. It's useful, but if you know how to use it, right? So, wave roll, useless to me because I don't really get the secondary dodge, which is the roll after you dodge. You never really want to be in that point because your first dodge is really what you use, so I'd put that at D. Gecko foot increases your climbing speed, D, hard D. Soft step makes it to where your footsteps are silent, which to me is very useless in a fight, but it is cool. I mean, it's pretty cool to not have footsteps unless you hear other people's footsteps. Phantom step is whenever you dodge, it makes your footsteps, whenever you dodge, you go invisible for a second, and the invisibility is maybe 0.5 seconds, and you can still see people because the invisibility is not invis, like you're not actually invisible, so it's D. Your quick charge for your pistol is pretty good. I think this is quick charge for pistol, yeah. It's pretty good. I mean, I'd use it if I was using the pistol. And then Phoenix Blast, Soul Slash, Earthshaker, and Razor Swift are all extremely good like area effects, but like whenever you're using these weapons, they all pretty much sit at above S. I mean, pretty much sit at above A. But Earthshaker is the best one out of those 3. Earthshaker, if you ever get, you might have seen Mime use this in one of his early tournaments, where he's just running through the late game with just holding down his charge with his left click, and he just murders people because it lasts so long and it's uninterruptible, and your damage is so high when you use it, and you're just hitting everyone, and it's so easy to use, and you can just spam it. So it's really good. But Phoenix Blast, Soul Slash, and Razor Swift all sit at A because they do help you. Repair Roll is a D for me because I never really, when I'm repairing, need to roll, and if I'm taking a Soul Jade, I want it to help me in a fight. I just don't think this helps me win fights at all. Sharp Shot is not bad for what it is. Sharp Shot, so as you can see, I kind of messed up here, but we're just gonna finish it with, because I have the, this should be melee ones, but Tuna is an S tier. Whenever you rest, it's very helpful. So this, how I use Tuna is, as soon as I get out of a fight, I start to rest. But before the fight, I know I'm going to take a fight, I start to rest, and it gives me that passive armor regeneration, and that helps you in the fight because you're constantly healing. So you can kind of dash back, attack again, and you're gonna heal a little bit, and it's not like a little amount. It's a decent amount that you're healing. So to me, I use it a lot. I like it. It sits at S tier. The rest of these are repeats. I messed up on the tier list, and if you want to help me, you can leave comments and say which ones I should have put in here, because obviously I messed up. So tell me which ones I needed to put in here, and I might remake it, and we might redo another video. Thanks guys for watching.